Gue baru sadar anjir
Gue
Joy.
lupa record.
Jarang-jarang ya Joy nggak di ban ya awal-awal ya.
Jarang sih di pick. Gila itu padahal laku banget ya.
Mungkin Marky satu ya, sama si Burmese gak main Joy juga kali ya.
Apa ban Angelanya?
Thank you Saga.
Iya Joy. Salah Wilson. Dijajak gue tuh anak kayak ini kan.
MM-nya apa nih anak nih? Aduh. Hero-nya Kadera dibanin lagi ya. Betrick.
Ada Mino, ada Faramis.
Kari nggak?
Brody sih.
Laku dulu, oke.
Wah ini MM-nya apa aja sebenarnya udah enak banget ya.
Yoi bro. Yang harus gendong banget Brody sih feeling gua sih.
Kalau nggak Brody Kari.
Brody udah the best choice.
Tapi Brody ada Teris ya.
Brody kalau nggak Kari lah udah.
Iko thank you.
Vino Paramis tuh.
Tapi ada yang jelas, ada yang jelas.
Mending manage.
Di Malay belum nih bro.
Mending main
Joy
mana
gak sih?
pakai malah kalau nggak ada yang jelas.
Iya mending Ben Joy daripada Ben Angelanya.
Iya.
Kenapa dia takut mungkin Joy Angela, dia nggak takut Joy-nya doang gitu ya?
Iya bisa lah, bener.
Tapi aja sebelum kuliah boleh cobain Rascal, Karma. Ruby lagi loh.
Oh ini Kari ya sih? Kalau Brody kayaknya kena Terizla Ruby juga bohwat deh.
Kari sih.
Kari boleh sih lawan banyak sisi gini.
Yo, dan musuhnya nyamperin kan.
Thank you David.
Enggak.
Ixia Ixia agak repot ya kena Kari kan. Ixia agak repot ya kena Joy.
Matamu Rizky.
Banyak sisi juga.
Selain Kari nggak ada lagi bro.
Arnold, thank you.
Ini tel udah bener-bener nggak di-pick ya bis ya?
Lag banget.
Gak ada damage ya?
Iya.
Yang bilang gitu aja gitu.
Di pertumbuhan damage-nya deh.
Perasaan awal-awal M series masih ada di dikit-dikit.
Aman ya?
Iya.
Siapa yang main?
Yang?
But so far, off the two drafts, how do you
Jadi
feel?
masih
Which
ada
one are you
Mia
leaning
sih
more
ya.
towards?
I feel more comfortable in terms of the execution for the draft for team Burmese schools actually, because they have the crowd control, the air crowd
Obat
control.
gue lumayan.
Aman nggak?
Berasa nih efeknya bangke. Kenapa Nael belum main? Iya lumayan cok. Nael itu setelah, aduh capek banget gue jelasinnya.
Yang dibaca tuh udah Jo.
Udah Jo, kalau dibahas.
Aku juga udah nggak baca nih anjing.
Mereka nggak jelas anjir.
Taruh kok.
Oke guys.
Nanyain Nael terus ya?
Let's go, game ketiga.
Saksikan saja guys ini. Gua draft lumayan suka Geek.
Tuh kan masih ada Joy kan di last pick, bahaya juga guys ya.
Ini kalau sekali Joy-nya early megang sih, wah. Sudah lah.
Keren guys, skinnya guys.
Kerennya pakai stocking gitu ya.
Iya. Stockingnya sih yang bikin keren sih.
Apanya yang keren?
Stockingnya.
Stocking birunya ya. Jonathan. Anjing lo aku.
Harus gua akuin skinnya luar biasa guys.
Suka lo Max?
Langsung aja suka banget, langsungnya pakai top up di ID guys ya. Last.
Kalau tahu
Lima
di
marketing.
nanti stockingnya bolong guys.
Ya. Pening
Boy.
Outfit.
Still able to flicker out, but it's a flicker burnt down. Let's see. What do you think? Is it hard to pull off Guinevere? I think, Guinevere in a way, especially in the jungle, is, it takes a little finesse, I feel like, for the most part, right? Spatial migration is work, it is very strong.
Loh, Joy-nya pakai emblem assassin ya Joy-nya ya?
Emang sekarang gitu kan?
Emang assassin Jo.
Jungler assassin bukan mage ya?
Assassin.
Memang
Bang Pes thank you. Siap.
early game mana-mana Max, harusnya menang Geekfam sih. Atau 50-50 sih guys. 50-50. Lapu juga kuat.
Saya cuma elite bank kolektor klaimnya gimana?
Ini enak sih, Guinnya bisa dimakanin sih, dia nggak modify cok.
Skin mahal pasti.
Tigrea lagi. Teresa telat sih. Mampus lu. Oh emang dia nggak mau perang, dia mau perang ini maksud.
Dapat nice.
Kelas.
Boleh ada ulti sih.
Aduh miss.
Aduh miss Marky.
Kelas
keras, gila.
Dia kombonya.
Another round getting popped in by both
Kal,
Lina and
thank you,
Boy right now.
Kal.
Blood, he gets
Amin,
taken out, but
amin
still
lah.
gonna be able to survive for a bit until
Lah.
Shadow
Anjir.
smacks him with a hammer.
Kelas
Now
lagi.
the picture
Aman,
right
Boy.
there.
Situ, Marky.
1 HP gets the damage
Gila.
done.
Untung nggak sih dapat
Boy
Terlalu
down
juga?
and Blink X
Untung.
brought back in the end.
Ih,
3 for 2.
lo yang ngeri banget, Cok.
That was actually a really messy fight right there. I wouldn't say that any one of, like, both of them actually
Karena
won
nanti
the
pindah
fight
stage
2-2
tanggal
and
15 ya.
also
Oh,
even
gitu.
Keren banget, anjing.
though
Kamu slot semua,
I would say that
serius, udah
Nico
slot
was
semua.
forced to
Mana
use
pikir lu, Cok?
his retribution just to get that purple buff. And speaking of
Tapi lebih
Marky,
keren lagi kalau warna
actually,
merah sih
in a
guys
matter of
listriknya.
3
Gua
games,
Minonya
he have
bener
tried
bahas Garot
3
kayak-
Enggak, aku masih ada kok.
utility jungling heroes.
Lu
At the first
sebelum
game,
padang
we've seen him
maksud
on the
gua.
Baxia
Kalau
and
warna
then on
merah
the
tuh kayak
Akai,
listriknya
and now
Lexus.
on the Guinevere.
Thank you, Fer.
So, it's a really huge
Habisan
challenge
mulu
for
nanti.
Marky,
Nanti bakal restock,
and
ditunggu
I
ya.
wouldn't
Kadera
actually
Kari nih,
know
dia udah
about
pakai
the
hero comfort
hesitation
nih.
that
Suka
you
di gua.
pulled off, that maybe he hesitated on taking
Baru
the
tadi,
Guinevere earlier on, but let's see.
Boy, gotta be careful. Flicker is out, but Nico
Anjir,
electrifies him with
Joy
the
tetaplah Joy ya,
That's what's
kampret.
scary about it,
Paramis
right?
mati apa
The
Joy?
joy is going to be picked up.
Nggak ada
and
yang
this is
jelas, tetap
usually
Joy namanya,
contested
Cok.
for
Maxi
a
Fetish
reason or
unlock.
banned
Namanya
out.
nggak berubah.
The damage this early on, 3.5 minutes in, has to be respected already. And you know,
Baloy
given
nice
the
banget,
way
bukain
that
map.
even if you look at the previous
Thank you,
game,
Coki. Apa
Burmese
tuh, Coki?
Ghouls, they didn't get any of the turtles, right, in the previous one. But they
Laksus
were
apa,
okay
Mac?
with
Itu
that
Fairy
because
Tail.
they set
Oh.
things up to get
Doain
to
gue
a
besok
point
ulta
where then
Superman.
they could contest the
Ya
Lords.
semoga
I feel like
lancar,
that
semoga lu
might be a
makin
similar
pinter,
situation
biar gak
here.
kebalik-kebalik kayak gini ya.
Now for the purple,
Aduh, Marky.
Kills his
Tapi
finished by
itu
Christian
keren.
Cancel.
Ada Paramis,
Marky
aman.
maksa.
Wah,
Anjing.
Ooh, the pullback from
Nggak usah
Marky.
explore,
Nice, Marky.
That
Dapat lo
actually
itu
ends
bullbuffnya
up
lo.
saving Marky as he found the
Untung,
angle
untung.
to jump out with the clone and
Bukan di
keep
Malai
that
Sun
get
Sun ya.
out.
Rada serem juga ya.
Throw away the purple buff.
Siapa?
That purple
Itu
buff
loncat
being
ke biru gitu.
stolen and the levels going
Oh, dia
for the
dia kan
favor of
loncat.
Marky, but looking at the emblems a while ago, Bantina going for a really
Nih,
good
perang,
approach
nih, perang,
Tergantung
towards
draft
the
dong bro.
duration.
Cuma buat
And
sekarang ya
also
Gwyn lah.
Bruno
Gwyn
wanting to
metanya.
rely on himself when it comes to laning.
Sat!
He's taking that
Tarik!
tanky approach and
Mantap,
also
Luke, bonyokin
finding
Teris.
as as fast as possible.
Hey, hey.
What happened?
No, I'm just saying, hey, hey.
Terisla bonyok. Oh, Terisla kalau lawan Lapu emang nggak bisa ya.
Nggak bisa.
Bisa lah.
waving his swords around.
Bonyok maksudnya
Turtle
ternyata.
coming up, though. So
Tapi tetap bonyok.
Geekfam in
Yang jahat tuh
position.
maksudnya apa
Burmese
ya?
Ghouls wants a
Dia
response.
dominan
A
loh.
fight across the map. Up top, they wanted to go for the engage. A boy able to disengage.
Makan tuh, rubinya.
They don't have a
Makan
flicker,
rubinya.
man, and he is
Nice,
caught invisible.
dua.
Don't run Wolf King.
Oke.
Oke, di ulti.
Kaget nggak lu?
Abu masih ada ulti nggak? Oh nggak ada ya masih ya. Yusuf, thank you, Yusuf.
Tapi kalau udah satu item menang Terisla aja.
Kalau Bloodlust sudah ada Bloodlust gitu.
Ya dominan.
Oh dominan.
Lah, Kadera.
Kadera.
Man, that
Kinjonya kayak
response
luck
just to
di-
go for the
Oh
mid-turret with
iya.
the damage.
Yang petir
Kadera
petir
kan
itu
loh.
ya.
Finds
Black
his
Clover.
death, and now Nico also gonna take the
Baik banget
purple
ya.
buff. So they didn't
Berat di
care
Max Man.
about
Iya namanya sih pelak ya.
Gue kayak lagi ngeliat gua 2 tahun lalu, guys. Mati di mid tower.
Kadera mau defend tengah, iya tahu, cuman jangan sampai mati, sayang banget.
Tetep gak boleh.
Buat temennya dibiarin gitu dapat turret gitu maksudnya.
Bruno nya jadi dapat banyak
Goes for
juga.
Boyski.
Nice.
Nice.
Very
Nice.
bad
He's been
play
escaping
guys.
out of a lot of things. Luke, try to go for a
Apa
flicker
gua
blade. Didn't
OTW
quite
ke
find
PH
Stitch
guys
there.
ya?
All right, taking a quick look at
Masih
the items
topis.
here, Yasu. How's it looking?
Topis.
It's
Lu
looking
kalah langsung
actually
gua
pretty good when
orang
it
pertama
comes
yang
to
ngehujat lu.
Bruno and
Kalau
he's
kalau
farming.
gua menang
And
lu
also,
apain
he's
Max?
not
Gua
only
diem
farming
lah.
his lane, he's also now
Mungkin
using the
bakal
assist
membaca.
of the minions in the mid lane and the top lane. Burmese Ghouls are taking it to
Wah, hilang 2 turret atas bawah, guys. Sisa tengah ini pressure-nya Burmese Gold makin tinggi ini.
Ken.
really good position here.
Semua basic variant cocok kok Ken.
What I've noticed too, the way that
Kasih tahu.
Nico's playing this. Hold on, Marky.
Kali.
Oh.
Marki udah Marki.
Aggressive
Mati dong, mati dong. Ruby ini lawan Gwyn juga lumayan kampret ya.
Lumayan, lumayan.
Lumayan counter ya.
That's what I mean by. it takes
Kali
a lot
udah
of
skill
finesse
2 nggak ada
to make the
ulti
Guinevere
mampus
work,
sih emang.
right? For the
Dulu
most
banget
part.
sebenarnya counter banget mas. Kalau sekarang kan karena ada stun nggak terlalu.
Udah nggak terlalu ya.
Dia lagi skill 2 bisa ditarik Jo.
Seems like a lot of times he's just gonna try
Oh,
to farm
iya.
up as fast as possible, get the items that he needs to win some of these team
Better
fights later
Walker.
on. Whether that's
Kayaknya BTR
getting an
juga masuk
automatic
player PH deh,
kill
guys.
against Geekfam,
Buat
leading
cewek
into these
kuliah, kalau
objectives,
buat cewek sih
you know,
mungkin
or how they
royal
play
ya
around
masuknya
that. That's
masih.
really up
Yan
to
Luke.
Nico, but so
Luke
far
pakai
he's
apa?
kinda
Oh
just on
lapu-lapu
his-
lagi.
Let me just ignore these turtles for
Boleh.
now, but
Oh,
Gila, Luke.
Stitch ini. Aduh, Luke-nya nggak kena Paramis kok. Nggak,
Keluar,
di
keluar,
luar,
dia
di luar
keluar.
circle.
Emangnya pas masuk lagi nggak dapet?
Nggak bisa. Kalau lu udah masuk terus keluar masuk lagi nggak bisa deh setahu gua.
Gak bisa, lu zaman dulu oke banget.
Ya zaman dulu selama lu di itu
Iya.
dapet kan?
Selama lu di ini
Mau keluar masuk mah bodo amat.
Ya skandal di Topet. Tapi nggak ada promo kalau di Topet, Rif. Anjing.
Oh, nice
Anjir.
hook.
mati si Marky.
Aman. Waduh.
Ooh, that was
Oh, game-nya very hard, guys.
So with that, they might actually go ahead and just try to take this turtle, but as you see, Nico not
Ini
even
kalau
in
kalah
focus
ya,
right
feeling
now,
gua
still
besar
working
sih
on his
Kadera
block.
main
The
jungle.
Buff gonna go ahead and grab that. Marky doing the same. Both teams getting in position, but
Dia
this time
MM
around,
aja
Jadera's
roll
not
nyamannya
part of
lagi
this fight.
underperform. Terus
So
dia
it's just
pindah
gonna
roll.
be Turtle now going to the hands of Burmese
Yang pindah
Ghouls.
roll malah perform.
They've garnered
Yeah.
themselves a 3K gold lead up to this point.
Kado
Very
buat cowok
decisive
apa
once
ya?
again in a lot of
Parfum
these
skandal
decisions they're
cocok
making
sih.
throughout the course of this game.
Kelas.
Through them finding their own.
Yo ikan.
Jadi kalau gue mau
Again,
bikin skandal harus
item
pakai
checks
parfum
here,
skandal nggak, Jo?
Yasu
Waduh,
looking
jelas dong.
almost
I support
5
you, bro.
ahead.
Well, I'll tell you about the items, but just
Skandal
after
ultimate
I tell
supported
you
by
the point,
skandal
Team
gitu
Burmese
kan.
Ghouls, the difference between them
Gigi-agi
and
menghilang
Team
masa.
Geekfam is that after each team fight,
Gak tau
Team
katanya
Burmese
tadi
Ghouls
info terbaru.
actually take an
Coba
Jadinya nggak
objective
main,
after it.
tergantung
So,
mekanik
let's
ya.
say for
Sabar,
example,
gua mau
Team
dulu
Burmese
ya.
Ghouls wins a team fight, they go for
Beneran
a
hilang.
If Burmese Ghouls wins a
Sumpah.
team fight, they
Apa
go
apa
for a
dia
jungle
diaktif
in
kali?
But
Oh mungkin
for
diaktif kali ya,
Geekfam,
nggak
they're not
tahu.
doing that at all.
Oh iya beneran hilang.
The scariest
Biar-
thing is
biar
that
ngeredain
aside
dulu
from,
diaktif
you know,
kali.
that point you just made,
Diaktif
is the
itu
fact
berarti
that
lu
Nico
apa? Akunnya
has
masih
that
ada
Holy
tapi nggak
Crystal,
bisa
has
di report
the
gitu ya?
Judas wand.
Masih
Diaktif
ada
itu ya lu disable sendiri. Aduh, iya nih cepet banget anjir. Baru juga tadi gua kasih tahu. Nanti di restokin ya.
Defensively, it's still early on, right? So as these team fights unfold, that's where you kind of have to rely on the kits of the heroes that you
Salah kok
draft.
emot Geek kayak jadi tengah emang
Quite a
iya.
bit of harassment. Yes, he's going to be able to heal back up, motivational roar and everything else, but still
nggak tahu
that's
emotnya
the
Geek
plan
gimana
for
sih.
Burmese Ghouls as they go through this.
Ngeblok
Looking
siapa
at the
nih?
damage dealt though, you can already see things once again.
Aduh, gimana ini? Ayo dong Geek,
Team
cok.
Geekfam actually at this point they are looking for a really perfect setup to find an opening for Kadera to
Late
go
game
in
sih.
because
Pokoknya
it's so
Sopus
hard
nggak nyengat
to
cowok
set up
apa.
for a hero
Bisa
like
nih liat game
the
nih.
carry,
Ya slot
but
sehari-hari
looking
basic
here,
variant
Shadows
cocok.
waiting.
Kaderanya dapat lagi.
Mati
Masih
lu,
ada
gede
boy.
gua.
Cedo mati nice.
Nice.
Akhirnya Kadera main.
Joynya malah ke atas dia. Lover Igun banget. IG gimana tuh sekarang progresnya?
Macro level.
IG
Burmese
gimana
Ghouls
maksudnya?
is just on point so far. With Shadow gone though for another 8 seconds.
Ah,
or
Bruno
so,
udah
they're
sakit
gonna
banget
have to
ini,
wait.
guys.
Probably
Ampun.
start Lord the best they can
Revo
against
balap,
Geekfam.
salam bro.
Given the situation, Shadera still planting the bottom side, waiting there. Now Shadow gonna make his way for this. We'll see.
Lord.
Once again,
Bang ini
they
MCS
hold the
pertama
goal in
nggak sih
this.
cowok nggak meta?
Given the situation,
Cuma bukan
being
nggak meta ya
3K
kayaknya
down here, it is gonna go ahead and reset.
karena belum saatnya aja sih.
Kadera udah cowok join
Cai,
cowok.
nanti pas main Cai.
Waduh udah cowok lagi udahlah.
Lah dia nongol bawah.
Lereng anjing.
Nongol dia.
Marki juga digas cuy, mati Marki.
Markinya cok. Masih butuh item ya? Udah DHS sih tadi gue lihat, nggak apa perang ya?
Kaderanya cuma di bawah ya.
Dia udah 3 item sih yang gue lihat.
Rame Datu Solo siap bro. Nanti ya.
Well, for Geekfam, the only setup that was possible there is for Beloyski
Kalian detik berapa?
and use his ult,
Tiga.
maybe with
Empat.
flicker in
Lima.
and out.
Oke,
Sudah ada Sarnik.
Oke. Gila damage-nya. Wah mati.
Aduh. Aduh guys.
Aduh guys, kolom nama, kolom komen, nah tuh dikasih tahu tuh.
Ini nangis sih di ruang ganti.
I say this is a different Burmese group than what we saw from the
Group
group stage.
wow.
You know, yes, I know they made a little bit of a change there, but still the game plan that they're approaching this with is just
Siap,
showing
mantap.
that it's
Rif,
working,
thank
right?
you banget,
The
Rif.
synergy between
Padahal
them,
gua ngeliat
the
draft kanan
shot
tuh kuat
calls, the
banget
way
loh,
that
guys.
it's
Parah.
unfolding here.
Cuma kayak nggak
It's a
dapet gitu ya
refined
sinerginya ya.
Burmese Ghouls from the group stage right now with this Lord top side making its way. Geekfam full
Mungkin nggak ya ini kalau sampai kalah terus turun ke lower, tiba-tiba Marki jadi gold ya.
Nah benar Budi.
Nico.
Electrifying beats just
Nggak tahu sih
jamming.
Jo, ya kayak tadi gue bilang, Kadera main rollnya underperform.
Oh, there's a
Gimana
conceal
pindah
here by
roll?
Blink. But,
Cuma gold
oh,
seperti
he's not
itu nggak
committing
sih?
to it.
Ya, gold sepenting itu. Makasih juga udah cerita ya.
Kalau Kaderanya
Cerita gua
di
emang.
jam
Wah gila.
Umurnya tuh
Kadera
Wah, Marky
Kadera free hit.
Cuma mereka emang mau komitor bawah. Stitch offside.
Nice.
Sliding ke depan dia ya.
Tahu Kadera.
Itu dia Kadera.
Itu dia.
Biru powernya. Blunder nih mereka blunder nih.
Tahu dia ke depan kayak Clover Sting.
Woi.
Tapi Stitch sama Kadera aduh blunder sih dari tadi emang. Aduh, nice.
Udah ini Kadera tinggal pistol sakit banget, guys.
Kadera tinggal stick aja sih ini.
Gue lawan Kari harusnya mati.
Treble detik bro. Jangan sering
Jualan Kari bisa dibers kan.
sakit lu semua.
Harus Athena tapi Kari ya.
Iya.
Atau Rose Gold.
Athena aja.
Rose Gold bisa.
Tapi Rose Gold tapi boost mas kadang.
Anya jangan toxic ya.
Apa Athena sih di sini ada Valen juga sekalian. Man.
Let's go.
Joy. Tapi Joy-nya di sini nggak terlalu. Ya ampun.
Enggak terlalu diving.
Dia aja
Iya nggak terlalu kuat gimana juga ya.
Enggak pakai lethal dia Joy-nya.
Tapi ada yang pakai lethal, ada yang pakai impurity sih.
Imperius
Gua
buat
rata-rata
cepat
lethal.
farming dia.
Ini kalau yang jago pakai lethal sih aku selalu lihat.
And also Kadera, as I
Kalau
told you,
Imperius
he
buat
needs
farming
just one
kan.
opening, and Geekfam
Bahkan
at
dia
this
hero
point they
perang.
are all about the counter engagement, not about the initiation themselves.
Someone yang cocok.
Bloisky actually needs to respond whenever
Oh,
Shadow
Superman
or
yang cocok basic variant bisa masuk semua sih. Tergantung lu aja sukanya yang mana.
Kadera kenapa mundur anjing?
And there's a possibility to
Kadera ngapain?
Dia cuma ngeluarin ini doang.
Lumayan rugi ya nggak pas Lord ya.
Wah, Resno.
Fits, mati.
Nice.
Mati semua.
Awas Joy-nya. Joy-nya miss. Kayaknya nice.
Lordnya dapet siapa tadi?
Kiri lah.
Musuh lah.
Kadera di sana duluan ya?
Kayaknya Kadera clear lane.
Enggak dia keluarin ini gue lihat.
Dia ngeluarin kembang api scan.
Oh, kelamaan.
Purpose ditanya. Mantap Lucian.
Bisa juga Jarod kayaknya.
Well, for a boy right now,
Dua match itu berarti dua tim. Kalau 2 game baru.
kayak endorse
Tapi game 2. Bocor Maxil.
Woi. Asa 2022 masih bocor guys.
Jangan
dukung siapa yang dukung anjir.
Ini Marky angkat ini nggak sih? Valen. Flicker dia.
Wah kencing dulu guys, sebentar guys ini lama game.
Gila lu kencing terus Max.
Tahu juga gua padahal gua nggak minum loh.
Semoga enak-enak dong pasti dong.
Semoga
suka ya.
Thank you Cindy.
Of the counter engage that Bloisky can pull off. Bloisky at this moment is the turning point.
Neng.
Mereka yang pakai Starlium daripada Genius. Starlium itu di Joy enak karena lu bisa farmingnya jauh lebih cepat dan lu bisa mainin true damage juga. Karena kalau lu udah jago banget pakai Joy, lu bisa skill 2 sambil ngehit. Someone sold out serius.
Astagfirullahaladzim, jangan gitu guys, doa jelek.
Glowing ya Joy-nya.
2 hit. Terus Joy kan main magic power gede, jadi true damage-nya pun gede.
Joy-nya glowing Jo di sini Jo.
Joy-nya.
Iya.
Nih
Beli
item
rumah
Joy.
atau nikah dulu. Rumah dulu.
Kenapa aja nggak mau winter?
I am back.
Paling nanti itu Genius sih ganti Winter. Cuma biasa
udah
udah
cocok
di
ya, nggak
ini
masalah.
Lord 20. Kok depannya BG kalau?
Kayaknya si Aswin.
Burmese dari Myanmar nih, ngapu pula dari mana ceritanya Burmese dari Palembang?
it's actually enough for them to finish the game.
Kalau ngadi-ngadi kau nih.
Having the minions in this
Luar sampai Palembangnya aja
like
guys ya.
17 minutes into the game, you can actually tunnel through any lane that you choose and you have an
Plat
advantage.
BG.
Ya, dapet dong ini dong, retri dong.
They've got the information.
Anjing
Oh,
emang.
Shadow.
Waduh, dapat joy pula.
Lihat dia dah.
Makannya ada.
Suripto boleh IG DM IG skandal aja.
Aduh bisa-bisa gini kok.
Ya,
Bulunya pelit
Ya.
banget. Ah, GG dong guys.
In the 17th minute of the game.
Aduh.
Boy and
Rapi
Luke
dia
are gonna
thank
be
you.
alive here. Burmese ghouls though,
Game
alongside
4,
the Lord
guys.
are gonna run it down mid.
All the way, they're
Gimana
looking
ini?
ahead. Game number 2, Luke with a desperate flicker forward, not even taking Lina down. That's a killing spree.
Oh, Burmese Gold ini hitungannya masih kayak ya susah ya, Geek juga pincang
Aduh,
dulu guys
nice try
kondisinya.
lah.
The Burmese
Aduh,
ghouls
ente,
once
guys.
again come out
Yang buat
swinging.
ini
Won't
Marky
let it slip through the
diwajibkan
hands
Main
of
nonton
As
anak.
they get to match point
Marky main maksimal
against
sih game berikut.
Geekfam here with another decisive match against the
Padahal
team from
kemarin
Lihat
kita-
yang menang lawan Joy apaan bang?
How will the
Surprise
adjustments be
hero.
made? But so
Waktu itu
far,
kita
what
ngomong
a
KDR lebih
performance
dari
from
mana.
both these teams.
Iya, udah lah.
Burmese ghouls though coming out on top.